So, Ace's polishing a turd again. um, they've changed the star seller. Oh, I look just like a floating head on darkness. Anyway, Ace's changed the star seller system again, or made updates to it. For those of you who've been living under a rock and not paying attention to these things, a couple of years ago, Etsy brought out the star seller system. It's a series of badges now, where if we're good little shop owners, we get a little badge that shows up on our dashboard. This was brought out a couple of years ago as a replacement for the much hated ODR system, although they never said it was a replacement for this, and that disappeared quietly without a word. So the star seller system means that sellers who jump through the hoops of answering messages on time, having good reviews, having enough sales and shipping on time, get this little badge. Now, up until now, this was supposed to not really mean anything. It was just a little badge. It showed on your dashboard. And they've been making some updates over the couple of years to basically make it easier to get, because sellers got angry with the fact that they weren't included in the star seller thing, even though, right, while it didn't make any difference to your shop apart from a pretty little badge, in my opinion, star seller should mean these are the creme de la creme. This is the best of the best, and I've got no idea what criteria you should use for that, because I don't think the criteria in the star seller was correct, but it should have been something that not everyone could get. But of course, people saw some shops getting it, and quite rightly, everybody wanted it. So Etsy's been working on making it fairer so that basically everybody has the same chance of getting it, pretty much. But they've made some more updates to it, which is basically saying, now, I thought this had happened before, but clearly it hadn't. But they're saying now that you will have some perks for having the star seller badge, which is, of course, typical, because I've had the star seller badge all this time, and I am possibly not going to have it now because I've been really quiet for messages. And then the other week I had a message while I was out, and I looked at it and thought, oh, this is something I need to deal with from my PC. I'll deal with this when I get home. And I forgot about it for 24 hours and 10 minutes or something dramatic like that. Messaged the customer back with all the details they needed. They were delighted, made the purchase within minutes of my email reaching them. So I had a happy customer, but my message response rate has dropped. Joy. And yeah, that was just literally because, oh, wow, I'm so pale. That was just literally because that was something that the app doesn't allow me to do. I needed to do it from a PC, and I forgot. Basically. Anyway, but so we got an email yesterday that linked us to the article that Etsy has updated on the star seller thing. So let's go over and have a look at it. So, introducing more improvements to the star seller program. Now, improvements are a good thing. They are listening to us. So things that people are complaining about or having trouble with, they have been changing them. So if you see big glaring problems with anything, message them. They won't necessarily answer to you, one individual. They won't necessarily change everything because of what one individual has issues with. But if lots of people have issues with the same thing and message Etsy, then they are listening. They're not listening to the just do away with this thing, it's stupid, but they are making some changes. So we're introducing new benefits of being a star seller and adding tools to help you earn and keep your star seller badge. Since we launched Star Seller last year, we've been listening to your feedback and working on new ways to make the program even more rewarding. Today, we're happy to announce a new perk for Star Sellers. And yeah, this one isn't so bad, but I do feel, I fear there will be more. and new tools and features we designed to help you stay on top of your customer service and earn your badge. So basically, we're giving you stuff for, hit the mic, sorry. We're giving you stuff for being a star seller, and we're going to make it easier. Hopefully make it easier for you to become a star seller. So, introducing new perks and benefits of being a star seller. Star sellers now have access to live chat support in the shop manager. Now, this is weird because just a week ago, I was asking my crafty clan on Facebook if they had access to the chat on the dashboard. And I was trying to decide, is it just star sellers that have it? Is people from certain countries? And there seemed to be no rhyme or reason. Some people had this. I will just show you. I've had this for quite a while now. On the dashboard, there's a little chat button. So I'm not sure when this came in, but I've had it for quite some time. But quite a lot of the people in my Facebook group don't have this, and some of them are star sellers, some of them are in the UK, lots of different things. So this is a thing that some of us already had, but most of us didn't. So get quick support from Etsy when you need it. We're giving star sellers early access to live chat with Etsy's support team right from your shop manager. This is one-on-one support available 7 days a week, so you can get quick answers to your questions. Shop manager chat is available 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. ET. I'm assuming that's Eastern time or Etsy time, or not my time. And 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the weekend. To start a chat with the Etsy support team, click on the chat icon at the bottom of your shop manager dashboard. We're offering star sellers the shop manager chat option in addition to live chat support in the Etsy help service, which is available 24/7. So yes, so as I say, I've had this for quite some time. So you don't have to go through the community and help and dig down all the things. If live chat is available, you might have the button here. So guys, let me know if you already have the button, this little chat pop out here from your Etsy dashboard. Let me know if you have that, if you have access to that already, what country you're in, and if you're a star seller. I am, at the minute in time, still a star seller. Probably won't be from next month. Well, we'll see if everything goes terrible. So yeah, that is going to annoy people because now I totally understand in 2020 Etsy removed the live chat and the phoning and and everything, that the customer support got a bit less good. And I get why, because totally thousands of new sellers came in due to what was happening in the world then, and Etsy couldn't cope with the amount of people. So it eased back on support for sellers. You could still email, but you couldn't get so much help. And they made sure that buyers were getting the help, which is fair enough. It's not great, but they did what they had to did. But now the thing that they've taken away, and they increased our fees to hopefully be able to bring back these kind of things, but they're bringing it back for star sellers. That's not great. But anyway, so we want you to know Etsy is here for you. So while Star Seller badges are awarded monthly, you'll get access to live chat for 3 months, even if your Star Seller status changes. For example, if you earn your badge in October, you'll have access to live chat through December at a minimum. So we're just coming up to the busy season. So don't do a Pam. Don't mess up your Star Seller this month. Well, we'll find out. Do I keep access for like a few months if I lose it? We'll see if that's coming forwards or not. Now here's the worrying line. Live chat support in Shop Manager is one of the many perks of being a star seller. Many perks. Did anyone hear that before? Including a shop home badge. Yes, we knew that. There's a badge that says star seller on your shop home. And more chances to be featured in Etsy's marketing. So they've kind of mentioned this. I don't actually look at most of Etsy's marketing, but I certainly haven't been featured, and I will say this just now because it's coming up to that time and people will be freaking out about it, because Etsy's going to be saying, have a Black Friday sale, have a Cyber Week sale, have this sale, have that, for more chances to be featured by Etsy. There are millions of sellers on Etsy. There are millions of star sellers on Etsy, quite probably. There are millions of people participating in sales on Etsy. They might pick people who are star sellers to feature them in some of the mail outs and things, but it's not very likely to be you. It's not very likely to be me. An increased chance of 0 chance is still pretty much a 0 chance. So don't worry thinking you're missing out on something. Star sellers are not all featured and have everything wonderful and great. The bonus is tiny. I've certainly not been featured in years, for years on Etsy. So highlight your customer service with individual badges. Earlier this year, we tested the new badges. Yep, we know about this. So if you're not good enough to get quite into a star seller badge, so if I lose my star seller badge for messaging on time, I will still have my 5-star review badge and my shipping on time badge. So there is that. So yes, that you have the almost there little patronizing badges, which, to be perfectly honest, if buyers aren't sellers as well, if something says great customer service, nice badge, I don't think they care if it says star seller or top reviews or top shop for gifts. They're all good things. And here's the tools to help you earn and keep your star seller badge. In the works, respond to messages on your schedule. We know sellers are looking for more flexibility with responding to messages quickly, and auto replies are designed to help with that. Turning on auto reply ensures your customers get a response to their messages while you're away, so you can take time off when you need it. Right now, you can set up a temporary auto reply for up to 5 days, but we're testing out a new option that'll give you more flexibility. With a new recurring auto reply option, you'll be able to set weekly schedule to send auto replies when you're offline, like on the weekend. So I'm interested to see what this is. I hate auto replies, but if you're away on holiday and stuff and you have to reply within 24 hours, then I can see why people are going to like this. It's just something you set. You type in what you want your auto reply to be and you pick the period of time. Right now, it's for up to 5 days. So if you're away for 2 weeks or something, tough. But it's up to 5 days. So you can say, yes, I want auto reply on for the next 3 days. So whenever someone messages me, this is the reply that I want sent back to them. So it looks like we're going to be able to set recurring auto reply options. So hopefully you'll be able to say every weekend send this out, which will hopefully help some sellers who like to take the weekends off. Lucky them. Any auto reply you send counts towards your response rate, helping earn your star seller badge. So this is just kind of annoying me. You could basically set up auto reply for all the time, whether you're there or not, so your poor customers get an auto reply. I hate auto replies. If anyone has a mailing list, you'll know whenever you send out your mailing list things, you get hundreds of auto replies from people who've signed up to your mailing list, and it's saying, oh, I can't answer your query right now. And it's like, it wasn't a query, it's something you've signed up for. We hope more flexibility helps remove some of the stress of staying on top of messages. We're currently testing out this new feature with a small group of sellers. So it's in beta, it's being tested, and we'll be incorporating their feedback before making it available to everyone. So they're testing scheduling auto reply. So if you've got that, awesome. Streamlined messages in a single thread. We already talked about that. So when customers message you, the the messages go into a single thread instead of when Etsy started the more kind of chatty options for customers to be able to just like message this shop. Customers wouldn't reply to the thread that they'd already asked the question, and they would send you separate messages, which was very annoying. So that's all been combined together, and you don't have to reply to every single one of them individually to still get your Star Seller badge. And here, what's next? These updates are a result of the feedback we've received from the seller community. They are listening, so if you have genuine concerns, get in touch with them and let them know. You can check the improvements we've made based on your feedback. So they've got an article to show what they've done, and we continue to listen to your feedback. So that is what we've got just now. So yeah, the biggest thing, I'm sure some people will be happy with being able to schedule auto replies. So yeah, we can put that on for the weekend or something. That sounds cool if that's something you want to do, if you take weekends off. And yeah. So you're going to get chat. You're going to get, well, it's not even 24/7 chat. You're going to get access to chat from your dashboard. I've had that for months, so I don't really know what's going on there. But that's cool. But I know probably a lot of people will be very angry as well, because of course it shouldn't just be to Star Sellers. There's nothing special about Star Sellers, and I'll just do my tiny bit of a rant here anyway. As I feared, what has happened because of the Star Seller thing is that sellers are feeling entitled to 5-star reviews. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm sure some old people like myself will remember when people used to talk about 5-star service, they would mean this was exceptional, above and beyond. This is really cool service. But now, because of what Etsy's doing on other platforms as well, we expect 5-star reviews to mean, yeah, good enough. It was average. And anything less means there's something wrong with it. Whereas some customers are still quite rightly reserving that 5-star review for something that's even better. 4 stars or even 3 stars isn't necessarily bad for them. So they're leaving what they consider as good feedback, and then the seller is messaging them going, what's this all about? What have I done wrong? What can I do to get you to change your review? Because sellers feel entitled to 5 stars. And the more perks we'll get for being a star seller, the more entitled people are going to be, and the less good the customer service is going to be. And on top of that, with Etsy's push for delivery on time and customers having understanding of when they're going to receive their item, which is a good thing, apart from the fact that there's so many postal strikes and slowdowns and everything, that a customer will buy something thinking they're going to get it on a certain date because Etsy says you're going to get it on a certain date. But the postal service is having a slow or something, and there's nothing we can do about that. And in days gone by, it wouldn't have been a big deal. You just message the customer, that's fine. Or they know about their postal system, but they weren't expecting anything. But what happens now is Etsy's system goes, oh, you should have got your item by now. I'm going to start bugging your customer and asking them to leave feedback. And the poor customer hasn't got the item yet. So they're freaking out because Etsy's messaged them asking for a review. And they're like, well, I have to leave a review because I've been told to leave a review. Have I been scammed by this seller? And the customer will leave a negative review. And then the seller will start freaking out going, oh, look, I've got a terrible customer. Where do I get the chance to review customers? This is awful. And it wasn't the customer and it wasn't the seller. It was Etsy's fault because they're pushing for this star seller, which I understand, but it's not right. The system is not fit for purpose, is my opinion. But I want to hear what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, jump in and check out the other comments because people generally have better ideas than me. And you might get some ideas that you hadn't had before. And as a community, we can come together. Don't be mad at Etsy, but tell them how they can do better for us. Anyway, yeah, I'm Pam Duthie. I make videos about stuff what Etsy does. Catch you later.